I am Zainab, and I'm a mother of 6 children. I am from Somalia. I advocate for people living with HIV. And yeah, I've been here in Australia for 21 years now. I came in Australia in 1998. I fled Somalia because of the civil war. I came illegal. I gave myself to at airport and told them that I was refugee. So they took me to Villawood Detention Center. I had to go for a medical checkup for visa purpose. This is how I was diagnosed with HIV. I wanted the earth to open and just swallow me. I didn't think I will be valued anymore because I knew the stigma that is attached to HIV. I didn't know much of HIV. I heard about it, and you know, in our country, everybody assumed that HIV was just a sin disease. Only people who sleep around will get it. I was married off when I was 12 years old. This is all the issue why I have HIV. I was infected probably when I was 15, when I had my 3rd child. It was very hard to cope with it in detention center. I have to keep it the secret. I have to fake smile. I laugh a lot. You know, I always have this big smile. I laugh with the stupid things. But from that day, my laughter was a lie. It was fake. But I still have to keep going, you know. What I have in my mind, it was my children. I had one nurse. She was the only one who kept giving me, like, you know, support and often hug me. One day I remember she hugged me in the a detention center is so big, you know, in the middle of the field, and she said, I know nobody knows what's going on with you, but in case if they start to pick on you, they need to know that there is somebody who supporting you and doesn't care what's going on with you. So she gave me a big hug. That gave me a little bit of relief, and I had that person who comes at least 1 or 2 hours stay with me some days. Some days she's not there. I was very lucky to say. My case went to Refugee Review Tribunal, and the member who was there, he was very nice young man. He tested me. He said, what will you do if I reject your case? And I said, well, it's okay. I said, my life is over anyway. I wouldn't mind you to put me in the plane and just shoot me out of the plane and drop in the middle of the jungle or in the middle of the sea. And he said, no, I wouldn't do that. You know what? I'll tell you one thing, he said. And I said, what? And he said, from now on, you're Australian. So he gave me, while I was talking to him, he approved, and he said, I think you're a young, strong woman, and based on your story, I think you will be able to survive in Australia. He called the security guard. He said, from now on, this woman, you're not treating her like alien, you know, like a person who's not belong to Australia. She's Australian from now on. Treat her with respect. You take her to detention center, and she will get out as soon as I fix all the paperwork. It was Friday. The next week, Friday, I was out. I went to work straight away. I was very weak. Every step that I take, I will fall, you know, but just take painkillers, go work in process work, you know, in factories, in cold places. And my doctor was crush any hope that I have, because when I had a HIV opportunistic infection, he yelled at me and said, you need to show appreciation to Australia. Australia saved your life. He repeated every time that I go. I went there 3 times. The 3rd time he actually got up and he said, I really don't like people who got no appreciation. You just don't want to go to work, aren't you? Yeah? You don't want to work, isn't it? Is that what you're asking for? Are you asking me for a medical certificate? I said, no, I'm asking you to check it. I really feel sick. So he did check me. In the evening, I had messages, my mobile full of messages. My house, there was a letter underneath that I have to hospitalize as soon as possible. They even put some vouchers in case if I don't have money for taxi, you know. So yeah, it was very, very difficult. So I had difficult to engage with my doctor, and because of his attitude made me to have fear of everything that was out there. Your body is your temple. There is nobody else can make a judgment or decision for who you're going to live with for the rest of your life. Love is the choices that you can make it, not choice that made by other people. In our culture, we are told that we're girls, we can't do this, we can't do that. I can assure you, as a woman, a 53 years old woman today, I was told that I am a girl, I cannot go to school, I cannot study, I am not supposed to because I'm meant to take care of family, husband and stuff like that. But I proved myself that no way, just because I'm an old woman today, that I cannot go to study. I took myself and went back to study. At an older age, I had fear. Will I ever understand what is being said? But you know what? I had fun. I had fun to study. In our culture, in Somalia, they circumcise girls, female genital mutilation. It's a no, no, no. Remember this. God gave you everything that you have in between your legs. And then somebody else comes and said, oh no, that was a mistake. Excuse me, that's your thing, that's your stuff, that's your enjoyment. You keep it, you refuse. Your body is your temple. You refuse to be matched or marriage arranged to somebody that you don't know. You need to fall in love. Fall in love with the person that you want. I'm Zainab and I'm HIV positive. And this is Plus Life.